Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to a tarot reading, a general tarot reading for the first part of August 2025. It's Rena here. If you love readings, I have a tarot reading on my second channel called Tarot Alchemy with Rena Moon that you can check out for your sign. And I should always mention this beforehand. I have an August horoscope reading for Scorpio on this channel. You can check that one out. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. Okay. This is a relatively new deck, and it is pretty thick cardstock. This is the back of it. It's called Flower. I want to say Flower Power Tarot, but it's actually Flower Child Tarot. And when you're choosing a tarot deck, there's nothing more disappointing than getting the deck in the mail, especially when they're getting these rave reviews and the tarot, the cardstock is crap, when it's too thin. I'm like really a stickler for that. I really like my decks to have a good cardstock, but when they're matte finished, in other words, they're not glossy, they tend to be very hard to pick apart. So that was my issue there. Okay, so first and foremost, I can see here we have the Sun in the challenge position. We have Nine of Wands. Wands are fire energy. Sun is Leo, fire sign. So there could be some Leo person or other fire sign, Sag, Aries, that is in your life. When I see the Nine of Wands in the heart of the matter, there might be something where you are anticipating someone reemerging. And I say this because this is a card of reunion, and we are in a Mercury retrograde, and that's like the ripe time for it. As a matter of fact, Mercury goes direct on the 11th, so it's within the time of this reading in Leo, in Leo. And for you, that's the 10th house of career. So there could be some rethinking career-wise, I guess, that you're going through, and other assorted issues, I suppose. But I think even sometimes of a narcissistic type of person who you kind of have to guard against, because they tend to play with you, toy with you. They break up with you, and then you get, you lose it, and you pick the pieces back up, and then that's when they come back into your life. So being aware of things like that, especially with the Mercury retrograde, I think is really a good idea. In the past position, we have the Four of Swords, so this may have even affected you physically if you have been dealing with something. And even, for instance, to me, I could see somebody taking like some kind of health leave from work. Like, what do they call those? Like, I can't think of the name. Like they have a mental health break. It could be a mental health break, but like a leave of absence, so that it's a formal thing. You're not quitting, but because you need to recover from some kind of illness, or burnout or something like that. And now you're kind of, if you're coming back, I'll say this, because the Nine of Wands can be about boundaries. So you may have to set boundaries so that you don't experience that again, because that is exactly what leads to burnout. If a person, as a matter of fact, it's funny because the 10 of Wands is a card of burnout, like of working too much and things like that. So the 9 of Wands is a card of boundaries, but sometimes it can be that a person has constructed very ironclad boundaries, and this is like, and it becomes a wall. You know what I mean? And I think there are Scorpio people that do stuff like that because maybe emotionally, if you felt like you were hurt by someone, it's just like it's going to be natural that you're going to feel that you have to protect yourself. So, keeping that in mind. And because maybe if like you want to meet someone, it might be hard because you're so used to being self-protective that you kind of are pushing people away and you don't even know it. The higher message is the hermit. Yeah, I mean, that's why the reason I was laughing is because I think of the Four of Swords as a minor arcana version of the hermit. Probably not, a perfect analogy or connection, but anyway, the hermit is about soul searching, and it can be a really important thing to do when somebody has been through maybe a lot in life and they're trying to make sense of everything. And um, it's kind of more intentional because sometimes a person may just like say, okay, like if they get cheated on, they break up with that person, they're like, okay, I am never going to get involved in a relationship again, or they just kind of drop out of sight. But they're not really, it's not really a spiritual thing. They're more like they're licking their wounds or something like that. This is more intentional when it comes to like the spiritual side of life. What crosses you is the Sun card, and this is actually the 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 challenge position for me is not always just the reversed meaning of the card, because the Sun card is so positive that even when it is reversed or picked as a challenge card, it still holds a lot of positive energy. So what I would say about the Sun card here is that somebody may be trying to come into your life and you're kind of blocking them because you're trying to protect yourself, and there may be very good reasons for that, but it creates a sense of not being able to have that kind of love that maybe you want more than anything in the world. And that's, and I have said this a gazillion times that, Scorpio, I feel, can have trust issues and things like that. And it can make a Scorpio person really wary. And it's funny. Again, I have to give a little grammar lesson here. Wary, not weary. Weary means tired. WEARY, and wary is WARY, and means like cautious. And there is a cautious kind of expression on her face, and her body language is very cautious, like she's maybe fearing that somebody's trying to do something to her or infiltrate her boundaries. So if there is someone, it could be like a literal Leo or somebody, just a love interest, then you may want to really review how you present yourself to others, because maybe it is too closed in. What's coming in is the Two of Cups, and yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if this deck is like just featuring women, just like that other deck that I have. Which, it's kind of funny sometimes when they're trying to balance an imbalance. Like if it was, dominating with male figures, they end up imbalanced in a different way. Why not have, equal representation? But in any case, Two of Cups, this idea of reunion, of commitment in some cases. So yes, who knows? Maybe your commitment is simply trusting someone that is trying to come into your life and maybe is a good person. I don't know. This is a general reading. Um, and being able to feel like, you can open your heart without it being something scary or that something bad will happen. And the outcome is the Queen of Cups. This, I think somebody told me that this is associated with Scorpio. I thought it was maybe Cancer, but in any case, this is double water, and it is very, it's intuitive, it's very creative, it's the mother energy as well. So it can be that you are really tuning into who is right for you, if this is relationship related, for instance. If this is work related, um, it suggests something creative or something that is intuitive. I do tend to favor the creative part because of the Sun card here and embracing that. Some people are very talented as artists, and yet they kind of are embarrassed to see themselves that way for whatever reason. So this is about embracing that. So, okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do have some deals going on right now. I have a reduced priced natal reading. These readings are an hour in length each, and they are reduced to $49.49 in US dollars. One is a natal chart interpretation, and the other are transits for the next 12 months. I do have a package deal with both of those readings. It's actually cheaper if you buy it. Even when it's on sale, it's even cheaper than that. So that's called my deep dive reading if you buy the package deal. And I just have like love readings, career readings, private tarot readings. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.